Turn to ban. It's turn to pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. LGD's turn to pick.
Earth Spirit.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the International 2017. We're here, it's on Group C, and it's going to be our first game of the day. Fnatic facing off against LGD, Stream C rather, and I'm Lyrical, joined as well by my main man, Merlini. How you doing? You excited for this matchup, which should be 1,010 kills and a half?
We hope so. Did you have them in your most kills?
I did. I had them in my most kills. I think at certain points I might have also had them in my most deaths. It's kind of just that style of play that Fnatic has. And I'll certainly start off right here with the classic. It's going to be the Earth Spirit. Kind of curious if it is going to be DJ playing it as well, since known for that hero for sure. Made that transition over towards more of the 5 role, but yeah, a lot of aggression coming out. Team fight also from LGD. Good old nature.
Is not very good, but his play on this hero is extremely good, and probably one of the heroes that as an offlaner. These SEA offlaners are not too well known in the Western scene, but Ohio probably one of the most well known, at least throughout the ages.
Yeah, I think also that True Sight documentary got a little bit of a look into him and the way that he plays the game, at least slightly, or approaches it, and I think that him a lot of fame for that, and also obviously his play as well. And I think that when they've been playing this a lot, it fits that style of aggression sort of alluding to. LGD plays a little bit differently, I think, and if you take a look at this style right here, it can be very team fight oriented. Maybe of course a really potent mid laner. We've seen some Ancient Apparition mid, although it feels like it's kind of a weird first phase overall. Don't you think?
Ancient Apparition, not so much. You see it all the time now. I think especially combo with Void, if you can get that in 1-2, it's pretty easy. So we already see, when you see Ancient Apparition, you immediately think team fight. And we see Faceless Void, you immediately think even more team fight. So that's what LGD are clearly aiming for in the first phase. And then normally to tackle that, you either drop more team fight, like Tidehunter, Death Prophet, these heroes, or you want to play in such a way that you can actually play around the long cooldowns, Faceless Void, Chronosphere, most importantly. Like a lot of teams are very reluctant to fight around that. And you always want to put LGD in that position. Are you guys going to tower or fight without Chrono? That's always what you're trying to do. And Nature's Prophet accentuates that part of Fnatic's lineup.
Well, like, you look at these heroes, too, so mobile with Earth Spirit and Nature's Prophet, that even if they do end up winning a big team fight, like, how many times have we seen the old MVP Phoenix come back and then just immediately go at them again? They know that no matter what, even if they lose that team fight, they can probably try and take another round. I think that's why you see the Shadow Shaman band out here as well, one of those heroes that could help them to take the towers without having to commit it, since we know that QO likes those melee cores, which aren't really known for, like, great tower hitting, more for that fighting that we've been talking about.
Yeah, that's why you want it out of your 3 position in the MP, so that's always pretty nice for them.
Oh, and a Victoria, I'm assuming Tusk here. I mean, it could be in the position as well, but this is a hero that is definitely risen in ranks, and I think it's because of some of the falling off of the prevalence of Earth Spirit and Monkey King as roaming positions, and he's just so strong early on, isn't he?
He's amazing. He also gives a much needed catch. I think they do need a little bit more catch, especially when you're dealing with Nature's Prophet, highlighting with split pushing and taking down towers early, and Tusk needs to be able to keep this hero down, or else he will bounce out top of the network. Very common for this offlane hero.
Well, it's sort of a mentality position also. It is the first game of TI group stages. You're taking a look at it, you know what you're kind of going to get out of Fnatic. Whoa, interesting. And IO taken now as well. God, this is super mobility.
This is good for, like, they could pick like an SF or something for QO in the And then you don't actually care too much about getting destroyed by their combo. The only problem is they do have the AA, which will prevent a lot of the healing. So Shrek coming out for LGD. Wow. Really remember them picking this too much recently. You seen them play this?
I have not that much. Although then again, when I was casting the Southeast Asian regions, and I didn't see it in the couple of games that I did watching leading up to it, but it does fit within everything that we've talked about. Like, you think about it right now, you've got increased magical damage through AA, and we were talking about the ability of that. Oh my god. All right, OD, this is one of the heroes I was thinking might make a big comeback, as well as this TI.
It's very good versus Faceless Void, very good versus Cold Feet as well, very good Tusk. The only problem is he's a little bit slow, and his range isn't that great. He's going to have a lot of mobility issues with Icy Vortex, with the shards in the team fight, and Faceless Void Chronosphere overall just poses a lot of troubles for OD. But he is, like, he's an ranged in hero, but he's actually a pretty good frontliner when you have Wisp in the game, and you can save a lot of people and yourself from getting shattered during that Ice Blast and chain stun from the Shrek. So I always like some sort of combo breaker on the team.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and that defensive abilities is also just so important. So far we've seen a whole collection of them now. I'm expecting that we still need a safe lane, most likely out of Fnatic. I guess it could be run in the safe lane position. We've seen that occasionally from OD, but probably only if there's like a bad matchup or something that LGD take. But is there anything to you that is feeling like you really need as a super strong last pick? They've already banned out the Ursa at this point. Ability to take Roshan is there.
I'm still checking out options. I think we are aware that we are having some audio issues, but we're trying our best to fix them at the moment. As for LG, I don't know. This, for some reason, I think this. What? It's probably because you were talking about what, support left track, but it might be mid left track.
No, I was thinking that it's probably support.
Probably support, but
maybe plays weird heroes. You never know. I mean, this guy's a little bit nuts too.
He does. I guess 11 plays a Tusk all the time. Likely to be.
Yeah, like you said, we are aware that there might be some audio issues, but we're taking care of it. It's first game, you know, you wake up, you get up, you eat some breakfast, you cast some Dota. It happens. We're all good to go. But last pick now, or the ban rather, take the Tidehunter away. Oh, and we're good. We got the thumbs up. Woo!
It's always a sigh of relief.
Yeah. I mean, if 20 seconds happen where it's a little bit funky, you know, it's the rest of the... How long is it we've got the TI going? How long is this? 2 weeks?
Roughly. 4-day group stage, 6-day main stage.
Oh, great. And this is dirty. Lycan with the Nature's Prophet pushes a bound going on. You got more global help with the Howl. Is this going to be one of the heroes of the tournament, you think?
Yes. Lycan is amazing. Especially if people start letting Night Stalker through. It's very common first phase pickup if you see Night Stalker picked. Because generally Night Stalker's first phrase overall, and then you can just immediately respond. He's just that good, and he actually doesn't care too much about nighttime. I think he has the increased vision during ult, and he has that Howl anyway. Yeah, with this... Ooh, Sven. Sven is the Lycan counter. I think every time that I see Lycan and there's a ban left, they can fit into Sven, they ban Sven. And he has that sweet immortal show off.
Yeah, that thing, oh man, he looks pretty cool. Yeah, you're talking about the sets. Apparently they actually don't upload them until you get into the heroes picking them. So I like Ohio's set a little bit more than that last one. Game number 1 of this best of 2 is going to be underway. Fnatic versus LGD. A couple of teams that I think, particularly LGD, people were excited about going into this. I think that it's with good reason. You've got so much talent on this team here. A couple of players that have played in previous TIs and done quite well as well. I think that the big thing to watch this one is how like Fnatic play around or how LGD play around the aggression that's coming out. Is there anything that really sticks out to you as important moments in this game or important objectives that have to be taken early?
Well, for Fnatic, they need to take T1 towers. You need to slow down the LGD lineup so they can't take team fights wherever they please. Once your T1s are down as a team fight lineup, it's really hard to actually play team fight lineups because you'll have a team fight lineup. You're like, we can own them in a team fight, but you'll never actually get to that point because of the mobility from Wisp, from Nature's Prophet. And yeah, you might catch someone from Chronosphere, but all you're going to be left with is a disappearing ball of light that's going to come back in 12 seconds, and you just wasted an ultimate and about 30 seconds and 4 heroes rotations for just a support kill. So that's kind of what the thing you do not want to happen with LGD. But here we go. Let's kick things off.
Well, underway. Very excited for this one, most assuredly. Everybody's heading off to their respective lanes. Does look like a Victoria is going to be heading up with 11 at least at the start. Maybe a little bit of confusion. Fnatic already early out the gate, and DJ should be able to get down both of these wards pretty easily since nobody is heading out that direction, at least for now.
I also think they might have some damage issues against Sven, because the only one who can really do damage to him is the OD. That's slightly scary, I would say. Taking down a T1 is especially important for Fnatic because they need to prevent LGD from stacking and farming. Leshrac, as a core, is exceptionally good at taking out stacks, and Sven can farm all the Ancients. And you know that that's what they're going to be looking to do, and just get big, get their BKBs, and then just run at Fnatic once the early game pushing phase is going to be over.
And it always seems like there's that interesting dynamic of, can you kite out the BKBs? Because it does feel like Hurricane Pike against Sven with OD when BKB is down. It's a really hard thing to deal with. But as you mentioned, if he's not there, or if they do get those in time and just blow him up at the start, you'll run into some serious issues. 11 already up here and maybe looking to try and steal away some creeps. It looks like they're going to be leaving Odjet to his lonesome, at least for the moment, since Febi's down here with Ohio. We're also seeing DJ, who's able to get away with a free one. Or ruin for himself.
Yeah, they're surprisingly scared in this super early game. I guess they want to sit a little further back, and they're waiting for like the bottle on the Wisp. I guess it's much more difficult for them to do it in that really. But I guess actually they're more scared of LGD. Stun, chain, easily spell for blood.
It's kind of a cool little opening as well. Obviously the Arcane Orb, since you're going to have the more regen. It does look like Yao is wrapping around onto Ame here. Going to be able to see if they can pressure out Ohio a little bit, and the cold feet stun. It's already a good bit of damage. This should proc with DJ here as well. Now that's going to be enough to break up the attempt on the life of Ohio, at least for the moment.
I mean, does not have his 4-man shield yet, so after that kill attempt, he's actually pretty low on health. Ohio still should be okay. There's no Mango in Sven's inventory, so that also makes things a lot easier for Ohio. This is a struggle as Nature's Prophet just dying super early on, but similar to most offlaners, once we get level 2, level 3, then things start getting pretty.
Another roll in. They're going on to DJ to try and turn it back around. A pretty good catch there, but this should be the death. First blood going as DJ is going to drop.
DJ was trying to catch the AA, one of the weaker early game heroes with only 1 armor, and he caught it with a big creep wave, but Sven stands strong.
He's a big guy. It's hard to deal with. Like you said, no more mangoes, so that makes it pretty hard for them.
They did clarity him. He touched clarity him, and it looks like Amen's going to die, so maybe he just gets that free trip back to the fountain, unless he's very fast with that Quilling Blade.
That poor man's shield, and they ended up popping the Howl for the damage, maybe a little bit too late. Nonetheless, it does end up meaning that they don't find that kill on his Sven. He's a little bit crippled, but back up to full HP yet again, and they're going to be able to come in, rotate. DJ steals away the Invis Rune. Victoria can't make that rotation happen.
Now maybe has to sit back in the mid lane. He's already going to be hindered because he's up against a dual lane, and Fnatic need to win this mid lane by a small margin, a small to medium margin. It doesn't have to be a huge margin just because the OD is going to get farmed regardless because he's going to be babysat by the Wisp the whole time, but it's still just because bottom lane is not going particularly.
Yeah, has been able to get it like that. And actually going to be ran at yet again. Ohio, Cold Feet does it proc there, just out of range, and that stun might not be enough. They will be able to run him down with the Orb of Venom. And unfortunately, as you said, maybe playing it very safe, not going to get caught out by DJ here, who's just been having to wait until that Invis rune wears off.
They could potentially TP in, but I don't exactly know where they're going to be going, because now he has another clarity, and they're out of mana on the AA, so maybe they can get a kill, but MP doesn't want to be in this place where he's just like constantly dying in lane and still is constantly threatened. And on top of that, Sven's very good at dealing with these treants in the lane. Normally melee heroes just get harassed out by these treants, especially with the buff of the Howl. But Sven does not care. He will cleave him down once he gets cleaved. He is not skilled up.
Is he holding it? Yeah. A bit. See. Maybe takes it in a little bit here. Yeah, it's going to have it now. We haven't talked about it a whole lot, but up top lane it is Ajit versus 11. A little bit getting outlaned right now is Ajit. He's slightly behind the Faceless Void in terms of CS. Kind of a frustrating lane for him, I'm sure.
Definitely so. Howl is viewed as a global skill that helps your team out, and it doesn't really help your laning phase out too much. So he has this badge, which is incredibly good in the 1-on-1 matchup, over Venom, which just adds tons of damage to each attack. Yeah, Ajit doesn't seem like he's going to have... He has a rough lane versus the Void, and he is Sven, who is trying to catch Ohio and does not catch him.
Nice little jump away for him there, but it does look like the rotation in is coming. QO in a little bit of trouble. DJ trying to show up to turn this back around. He finds the stun onto 2. A little bit of an animation cancel there, and Victoria is going to be able to make the walk away. QO barely escaping, and now maybe also trying to get out of there. Somehow, nobody dies.
Fairy Fire saves lives. They're still really low. DJ could easily come in with a roll and a kick and kill him right now.
Oh, I thought he was rolling the other way. He doesn't want to test it either. I guess it's close to Shrine time, and that might make things a little bit scarier. So they're going to go and make that happen, and hopefully Victoria doesn't die to the IO illusions. If you die to that, that's just the worst feeling in the world.
Ooh, nice try. That I don't think would have been enough damage. Would have only been 50 damage. I guess. I mean, Electric isn't fully healed, so even if it doesn't do any damage, it still probably did more damage this way by keeping him away from that shrine.
It's kind of cool. Well, so far, it's left alone now here in the bottom lane. Ohio, a little bit of a level advantage over that Sven, and also a bit of a CS advantage. He's had a pretty nice time for himself, by and large, in spite of the deaths.
Throw enough bodies, I'll run out of clarities. Gabe, that's the play. You have infinite lives, but you don't have infinite mana.
There you go. DJ again, the person who's been trying to make things happen around these lanes. We'll see where it is that he wants to go. It sort of feels like it's hard to make stuff happen with these heroes, at least at this point. Like, what's that timing? Is it a certain level that we're waiting for either Fnatic or, I guess, LGD to try and make moves around the map?
You don't really need that much. Maybe just like level 7, I would say, for like max Hell and max NP treants. But really, this lineup on Fnatic don't really need too many items. On the flip side, you have LGD who need tons of items to spend. We see, top lane. Thought there was a DPN, but that's actually just a scan. 11 is just hunting Ajit down. Doesn't have ultimate yet, and this does have Chronosphere.
Oh, this is spooky. I mean, Ajit is standing strong in this, maybe just anticipating that Wisp can come in to help him, and he actually is making that rotation up here. Let's see if 11 wants to fully commit for this, and the bash comes in. Still, Chronosphere is going to be dropped. Can they actually find the kill in time? No. 11 is going to have to back out. While bottom lane, more damage of Bruin. Ohio went far for that one, is going to be punished. DJ also going to be blocked off, and possibly with another kill. Ame has the stun. That's going to connect. That's going to be another one. 4-0 start for LGD.
That is not the lane for them to concentrate on. Sven is just unpressurable at this point, I would say. Like, yeah, he's like low on HP and low on mana, but they're devoting most of their resources to help him out here. And I think their resources may be better served to try and kill 11, but they are scared of the Sven being big and bad because their Lycans having a bad time. So like, okay, our carry is being kept down a decent amount. We need to keep down their carry. And it's a natural tendency for them to do so. But sometimes looking at the alternatives on the other side, like what's happening in mid.
Yeah, bringing Victoria very low. They are going to be able to find the stun onto QO. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to run down maybe. They both get out, and the rotation It's coming for a moment. I guess that might have just been to come and try and fight it out again. DJ probably going to be forced back. Gets the stun roll away. That'll keep him alive.
Enough bodies, and they ran out of mana on bottom lane. Ohio gets a lot of damage freely on his tower. Sven's huddling back. Look at 11, dude. He is on Lycan's tail.
This is the most annoying thing in the world. Just take the Orb of Venom and come and punch the Lycan. The new counter, apparently. Occasionally you get a bash, and... Oh, I thought I saw MP TPing for a second, but decided an 11 should be able to find this tower. Takes it down, backs out. Easy peasy.
IGen has to be a little bit frustrated, I would say, at this point. Like, you're just getting run down at your tower for... That was like 30 seconds, okay? He's just getting right-clicked by a Void for 30 seconds at his tower, and one person comes in with Wiz, and then it just happens again as soon as he leaves, and then he loses his tower.
Wow, a quick jump in there. Bevy ends up going down, and now QO also in a little bit of trouble. Ohio's here to try and make the turnaround happen, and maybe can he actually play some other? QO wants to go back in. This guy is bloodthirsty, barely any HP, manages to take the kill, and now maybe another one. QO still insane, still finding kills. And with Lycan chasing, they might have another one. Maybe. Does he hit the stun? He does. Juke it out. Can he get out of there, though? I think the answer is no. Yes, he's going down. The Chronosphere is almost there. In fact, might be able to bring down QO as well. Trying to bring him low, but the Wisp, the heals. It's coming in from Febby, and they turn it around again. Fnatic making the plays, taking the towers, asserting dominance.
And this is where their lineup kicks in. See, most of them hit their point, level 7, and they're just really strong as 5. The Wisp, he held on to so many of his heals. QO being that low was very deceptive. Firstly, he has Howl, and then he has all this heal coming out from Febby, and it's just not really the target that you can go on. You have to wait for either Tether to be down, or IO to be dead, or IO to be off the map somewhere else, but that's rarely going to happen. IO's just going to push out lanes by themselves. So... LGD need to rethink their game plan a little bit. They need to face his Void there a little bit sooner, perhaps. They need Leshrac to have more items so that he has more mana. Maybe is constantly out of mana. He doesn't have anyone to really feed him HP or mana in this setting, so he's really self-reliant, especially because Sven's going to be farming all the time. He has to do the brunt of the fighting before he has Bloodstone or even Arcane Boots. Or even Soul Ring at that point. Like, he has no Soul Ring. He's fairly poor.
Yeah, it felt like the double multi was, I guess, to try and help him out in the lane and maybe think about until it's available. Like you said, now trying to go back for those mana items in the at least Soul Ring and then eventually Bloodstone. They are smoked up now as 3, and it looks like they want to try and get some counter pressure up against this top lane. And 11, no Chronosphere. I would imagine there might be some quick rotations. They're going to relocate in. 11 had just used Time Walk as well, but it's only Febby. He didn't bring anybody else with them. There's DJ that's now starting to show up. The stun goes through onto 2, but that's going to be Febby dead already. Ohio, very low on mana. 11 almost dead as well. DJ is going to connect with that kill and a haste with QO. He's going to try and chase down Yao. Now they managed to get the ulti onto him, but that's all for the moment, and not quite there. The animation almost to catch. One more from LGD, and whew. Trying to get out of there.
Their exit plans are need some planning.
They need more plan.
Well, they had a good plan. Yeah. It was, okay, let's smoke up, kill someone, and pressure the tower. But Fnatic are okay with throwing bodies. They've been doing that a lot of the game, just like throwing bodies so that they can get more out in return. And they threw bodies down at bottom lane so they can pressure mid lane a lot. They threw, like, Febby just TP'd in there. It's like, I don't really care if I die, I'm just buying time for my team.
That was the longest TP in the world, and now Chronosphere comes down. QO is dead. Oh no, that was really unlucky.
Which tower was he?
I'm not sure, but wherever he was going, it was a long TP and then a first hit bash.
That's so fun.
I mean,
blame your teammate for that one.
Okay. How much do kills like that hurt this momentum-based draft of Fnatic?
When your Midas is up,
uh-oh,
a little bit. Again, it's not so bad because they can still push. So 2 of the 3 T1s are down, and maybe is still very, very underfarmed. So I think they're still happy with the pace of the game, but you know that hurts OD a lot. He just uses TP, you die, you can't even get to a creep fast. I mean, you might maybe call in February like, hey, relocate me, bro. Midas, hit a Midas, off cooldown. Hit a Midas ready, and then I don't know if that's ever worth it. Maybe? I don't know.
I mean, the way that they use relocate, I feel like they gotta use it. But then again, you know, it's Mike's cooldown.
Yeah, you need a big QO this game, that's for sure. He's your Sven counter.
Second highest in the game right now, only behind the guy that just killed him.
But imagine if he got relocated. Big intro camp.
It's the dream. He got there eventually. It was like 30 seconds. So yeah, we'll see if his net worth ends up making that big of a difference in that time. They have felt like they've slowed down a little bit, at least for now, Fnatic. Maybe farming up to that next item, or at least until the next cooldown comes down. It's really anything they're waiting for. I guess the Sanity's Eclipse.
Not too much. I would say just more so the Midas to be king. And they do already have the drums on Nature's Prophet, so still continuing with a theme of 5-manning with a lot of summons and pushing down towers. And I wonder what Faces Void is going to get afterwards. Oh, shadow play, man. That's shadow play.
Yeah, it's going to be found here. They relocated in for this, spotting him get the D ward, but now realizing that they're not going to be there, they're coming to take the tower LGD, and it might just need to be a trade-off of tier 2s.
It's a pretty good trade-off, especially when you have Leshrac. So this is great for Leshrac because he doesn't have to care about relocate, and he's going in here.
Oh, big battle. Chronosphere only catches onto one, but it's a good one. It's QO. They caught him and able to hit him as well with Ame on the outside. That is a big one as well. It's now Fnatic getting ran down. They end up almost dropping cold feet there. They're going to connect again onto Nature's Prophet. Another stun comes out. Maybe make it plays. DJ did 1,000,000 damage with this Magnetize. Is it going to be enough? It's dealing a good bit, but not quite enough there to find the kill onto everybody. Everybody is just so low right now, and Febby coming back in, wanting to take down anybody at all, but it's looking like he just might end up going down nonetheless. 5 wipe for Fnatic.
This is why you just need more items up on the OD right now. We talked about like all these saves coming out there in Chronosphere, like OD can save anyone else, Wisp can save anyone, but if Relocate is down, they did actually connect on the kill when he got that D ward up. So then they identified the opportunity. Okay, if we go into OD, who's gonna save him? They can't heal him, no tether, no mech. They don't even have one anyways. How, I guess, is all they have, but if they just throw everything they have at the OD, like he needs a Blink Dagger or like a Force Staff potentially to deal with these situations, or for a Wisp to make the call that, hey, look, you cannot be saved if they jump you. Usually that's on the core though, but I mean, it was very clear that he was down there, and QO gives up, I would say, another fairly big death in this game. They don't even get the tower in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, it would maybe be a little bit worrying for me, LGD, that they like basically had the perfect team fight, and even still, everybody was that low. Like, even imagining a just, you know, naked Sanity's Eclipse without any install, and it might have been enough there to turn the tide around if he gets any spells off.
I would say, yeah, that's true. However, you have to realize that LGD also, like, they don't have their main items yet. Like, Sven can't actually get into the fight. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger, he just has like a mask at that point. Same with the Faceless Void, he has a mask, and he is going for the Shadow Blade. Like, look at him. He's actually sitting in mid lane with the Shadow Amulet. Just he is going to be able to get the jump on the OD is the point that I'm trying to make here. And life's going to be very difficult for QO. He has a Force Staff, but generally that's not enough to save yourself from Chronosphere.
The long con, 11, fully committing for this one. They do have Febby right behind him. There's always that dream of being able to find a, you know, a relocate cancel by virtue of a Chronosphere. They're keeping QO alive for the moment. It feels like he's aware that there could be some danger there. And, you know, they took a tier 2 tower in the bottom lane on Team Fnatic.
Yep, it's looking pretty good for them. Leshrac, still no Bloodstone, but he is fairly close. Sven not going for a Blink build. The Sven Faces Void duo is a point that's in pretty hot contention, I would say. Some people say it's terrible because Sven can't hit people in the side of Chronosphere. Some people say it's amazing because Faces Void chronos the back of the line so that Sven can do damage to the front line. I mean, it does work both ways for sure, but seeing a no Blink build on Sven is highly unusual. And that puts a lot of faith in your teammates. Like, Tusk can keep them in place with shards. You can bring them in with the snowball. And I guess you're actually not terribly worried about snowballing in. I guess maybe an Earth Spirit, but Earth Spirit himself is just not that big of a deal. I would say like Earth Spirit plus like Earth Shaker, or Earth Spirit plus any other follow-up stun. But just by himself, not a huge problem.
see that, like, right there as well, Fnatic, they had full vision of all of those heroes coming in, and it felt like they didn't want to go for it yet. They are going to rotate in now, and the sun's silent. It's going to connect onto the Faceless Void. QO, he dropped the hammer. It's not quite enough damage, though. Force tap away, not wanting to get caught there by the Chronosphere, but the rotation in comes again from DJ. The Magnetize is out as well. Stormhammer to keep him back, but they are going to be able to reapply. Now the chase up on the north side of the fight. QO doesn't want to fully commit for that. He's able to bait out the Leshrac stun. Looks like the fight has sort of devolved into two separate engagements. Can QO actually do this by his lonesome? He's starting to drop down low. They're able to separate it out beautifully, and now Febby is going to be brought down as well. Just precision team fighting by LGD, separating the correct heroes, and they get those kills.
Oh, that was a really good play by QO, though, at the start of the fight. So what he did at the start of the fight, he knew that Faceless Void was, like, setting up for a Chronosphere. He was looking for the OD, and then OD, like, forced himself away from the rest of the team so that he could have only gotten a one-man Chrono. And then on top of that, he dropped the Signity's Clips on top of the Void immediately so that he didn't have enough mana for the Chronosphere. He had 175, and he had to wait like a fairly long time for him to actually get enough mana and then switch it in and then cast Chronosphere. But they thought that would be a one fight with no Chronosphere, but they took way too long to catch the Sven, who mobility build actually paid off for him. The Sage Nyaki was able to just straight run away from the team. Like, not particularly useful in that situation because he had Magnetize on you the whole time, so immediately I think the benefits of it.
Well, and you know, it goes to show that there's no bad builds, just the correct build for the right situation.
Wow, what a player. He knows immediately what's happening.
That was really well done. Yeah, they come in there, oh, they might have smoked right now and tried to go for Roche.
He knows.
Take it. They get away, though. Yow, they're chasing this. Ohio, he's been able to catch onto one as well. QO is there. That is two dropped quickly, and even if they know what's happening, can they stop it?
Oh, that was a quick wraparound by Fnatic. They didn't use Relocate, but two heroes were immediately on the back line, disrupting this Ancient Apparition's flow, and that should be a 5v3 straight into Roshan with Book pop already from Ajit. Book is an extremely unusual choice versus the Sven. Normally you don't want any more units because they're all just getting cleaved down anyways, but again, it does accentuate their forte of their lineup of being able to push down towers with mass summons and mass tower.
Look at this, they're just needing a gatekeeper right here to the side. They popped the ulti from Ajit, wanting to finish off Roshan. They're going to throw out the Ice Blast. Is it going to be enough? The imprisonment came out in time, but Roach still not dead. Ajit is going to be able to pick that up. Ame cleaves him down already at the start. Now with Maybe dead, can they find the kills? Oh, he's going to be controlled, starting to be brought back down. Febby gets the relocate back and away, just barely keeping him alive, and now trying to chase Ajit. Looks like he's going to have to be the sacrificial lamb, brought down, and, well, they catch one more on the retreat, but they wanted QO. They're not going to get him. It was actually a relocate back in as he finished that one, and DJ going to be able to make the escape as well. A very clustered and strange team fight from Fnatic again. It feels like LGD is just outmaneuvering them.
Lycan's game is done.
Yeah.
His game is... It was a gamble, I would say, for Fnatic. Like, even in the early game, leaving him alone versus Faceless Void, that's not a lane that's supposed to be usually Lycan favored. And then on top of that, going for the Necro. I think both of these were gambles that slightly ended up for negative. Like, they didn't end up getting the Sven kill on the bottom because he did commit for Necro, and it's better for Roach, I would say. And he did pop it for the Roach kill, however, they didn't escape from Roach unscathed. So now that he's kind of gotten the worst end of the stick on these two things, and Sven is huge up on him net worth. I would say like a Sven with like 10,000 can probably take a Lycan with like 13, 14,000. And when you have the tables turned, it's even more crushing.
Yeah, it feels like Ajit's role in this game is just going to be
a Hellbot.
Yeah, exactly. Helping out his team when he gets the chance. And he does do some decent damage to the tower, but...
Have you heard of the rumored support Lycan?
I have not. That sounds disgusting.
You just howl.
Well, you might need to howl as he's starting to be brought down already very quickly. And Fnatic, they will take the tower, but they're going to lose everybody as well. The Shards just wraps them up, and oh, actually they don't even get the tower. It's going to be denied most likely with 13 HP. It hurts. It hurts a lot. QO, they're chasing for him as well. 11 has found him. Can they bring him down? No Chronosphere, no problem. QO is dead, and soon to be a team wipe. Fnatic have no answer at all.
this is what happens when you're Lycan is super poor. Again, it was a gamble for them. It wasn't like, oh my god, does Lycan play terribly, or oh my god, this Lycan went such a terrible build. It was a gamble for them. They wanted to be able to take objectives with this sort of build. They wanted to be able to pressure bottom lane by sacrificing one of their supports from moving from the top to the bottom. But instead, all they're left with is a 6,000 net worth Lycan who just got rolled at the start of the fight. And when your frontliner like that, who's supposed to be very, very tanky, can't even really cast any spells at the start of the fight, then your whole team will fall apart like a bunch of bowling pins.
This is smart by Ohio. They were baiting it out, wanting to wait and kill him off, but he's just going to send the treants in and then immediately TP out. So good play there to get the kill on the tower and not get killed in return.
Small victory for them.
That's the silver lining that we're trying to find at this point. I mean, if they do start winning fights, let's say that OD is able to maybe find a couple pickoffs, get a big Sanity's Eclipse, they still take towers rather rapidly, don't they?
Yes, but they have to win a team fight.
Okay.
And they're also having trouble pushing out lanes right now because of the Faces Void with the Massive Madness and Shadowblade. Shadowblade Faces Void makes it near impossible, I would say, for the Nature's Prophet to actually reliably split push out lanes, because he's like a Nyx right now, except I would say a better Nyx because he can just lock you in place. There's like no outplaying this Faces Void right now. Like, you can have sentries everywhere, but your support's not going to be able to get to the places where Nature's Prophet's going to push out. So now they do have to go for a smoke play. There is a DD. Are they going to actually pick it up? Yes,
Wouldn't have been envisioned, so that's fine that they're not going to know this.
Look at their position, though. Sven is in the front, so he will almost assuredly be able to get Warcry off, and they don't exactly know that the Wolf is on top of him. They want to kill Yao. You kill Yao at the start, maybe you can win this fight. And 11 is at the front line, and if Earthspirit can get a quick silence on him...
Oh, they end up smoking, realize that people were there. The rolling silence, it connects onto 2. Great play, the Chronosphere comes out though, so the damage from OD is going to be limited. Hajit trying to juke around in the trees. Victoria is on top of QO yet again. Ohio still staying alive, and they're starting to deal the damage that they need to. They're able to take down another buyback from DJ. Forstaff trying to keep his distance away from Ame as well, and the roll forward, catching maybe also. Everybody from LGD going down. It was just about the perfect fight. Can they catch Ame? Ohio is TPing in, wanting to get close to him. He's out of mana. This should be the death of him as long as they can catch, but he's actually got some good movement speed with the Sanjin. Yasha trying to roll forward. DJ kicks forward Ohio as well into the Sprout. And finally, they're going to run down the big bad carry man. I don't think that maybe alone is going to be able to make that rotation in to save his life. Ame's dead.
Yeah, Fnatic always needs positioning like that. Chaotic maneuvers spread out from all angles so that you can't get a good Chronosphere. Faces Void, he has the items to look for a good initiation, but if they don't actually clump up, he's not going to get the kill that he wants. He only got the OD, and then the IO actually went outside of the Chronosphere and then just tethered back in to kite the Faces Void a little bit, but they weren't able to follow up at all. Looks like they are going to need BKBs if they want to start the fight, or for their Ancient Apparition and Tusk to not both get silenced at the start of the fight.
And, you know, a small little thing, but Sven right now also not having buyback. You know, not the biggest deal in the world, because I don't think that they're going to be able to take a Rax off the back of this, most likely. But later on in the game, those type of problems could come back to cost you more.
Yeah, they need the Nature's Prophet to get really big. He needs to kind of compensate for the damage that the Lycan is not going to be able to put out. So he's actually getting there. He's pretty high in net worth, almost on top of all the cores, and he has that Orchid to deal with the Faces Void. And Faces Void actually is going for BKB. He almost has it. He's going to have his faster than the Sven. So now that BKBs are popping out pretty soon, Earthspirit's life is going to be rendered extremely difficult. OD is not going to be able to steal as much int or really handle these BKBs at all. He's not going for one himself, so he's just going to have to be able to stand there. He does have Shivas, though. The Shivas I really like coming out from him, because it will allow him to survive Chronosphere for a pretty long time, enough time for him to get relocated out, and it will allow him to just man fight Sven.
Yeah. Well, and like we were talking about that item that he's going into next, the Dragon Lance, one of the better ones that, I mean, even if the big problem, of course, is BKBs like you were talking about, but if those wear out, it's a great answer for a Sven at any point. So they are moving down towards the bottom lane right now, LGD. You see if they can find somebody from Fnatic. Ohio is in the mid, pushing out lanes, and it looks like Fnatic, they have to be so judicious with which team fights they take.
They definitely do. And on the flip side, LGD, they don't actually have to take team fight. They can keep getting picks off. And 11.
Oh, he walked right in, but there's the BKB. He's caught onto one. Where's the rest of the damage? DJ is being able to hold them back for the moment to snowball forward. QO, he's going to be caught for the moment. Can he force step to the low ground? No! He's not going to be able to get out of there. And Ohio now also in a little bit of trouble. Victoria is able to make his way out. Ohio is down. Ajit just needs to run for the hills. And Febby, I'll see if he can get relocated away, but... Oh, nice tether. Yule Scepter lift up. Is he going to die? He gets back home. Just barely.
Wow, that was really close. Almost that for Ajit.
Oh. He's caught. The rest of them are coming in, trying to make his escape. The body blocks are there, and I thought he was out, but to no avail. LGD, they strike back in a big way. 4 dead from Fnatic.
I feel for this doggy, man.
He's having a rough game. It's hurting. Yeah, I like what you said, though, that it is much more like... And this has kind of been Ajit's role in the way that Fnatic has played in general. It's about enabling QO. It's a different hero for it with Howl. Like, we'd seen him before play things like Necro and stuff like that, but I like... I think that it's definitely proving to be sometimes too much of an issue. He sacrifices too much.
Yeah, he completely is doing that. He's also doing like majority of the scouting. Look at these Lycan wolves just always on the map. Right now it's inside the Roche pit. It was just hounding maybe. So like he is doing a lot for the team, providing the heals, providing some of the building damage, providing the vision for his team. But unfortunately, just not the right click potential. At least they do have one of the most flexible offlanders in the game.
Do they have any detection? They do. They got dust, but 11 able to juke into the trees. That would have been big. Yeah, they could have found that kill.
I think that's nearly impossible though, because they have a BKB up on him. That's the thing about BKB.
Yeah.
When you have BKB, you need physical damage. If you don't have like scythe or physical damage, you're gonna be at a huge disadvantage for a few minutes at minimum.
Oh, he walrus punched a creep, and now QO jumps in, does a lot of damage, but is gonna be brought down by the BKB from Ame. And Necrobook's trying to finish off Yao. It is going to be able to do it. The drive-by for Ajit. Trying to make his escape, and looks like he might just be able to. Shapeshift's going to wear off soon. He doesn't have a TP, though. They're TPing in with maybe, and Ajit just going to look to block the way, and is able to do it at least a little bit as he heads down south. Space created.
Wow, I can't believe QO died that quickly, even with Shiva's guard. It looked like he didn't have any armor. That was nuts.
Yeah, they do a lot of damage. I mean, it's just terrifying, too, but it feels like 11 is... I mean, he's... How much? Like 228 per hit? Wow.
Yeah, 11 has a lot of damage. Why do they have so much damage? Are you going for damage? Wow. Actually, you usually see armor. That would do it.
Yeah. And the GPM as well. Any other big talents that we need to keep our eyes on here in this one? 40 experience gain for Tusk is pretty great.
Wow, maybe went for the strength talent. Wow. Don't see that very often, just because like all your damage is spell damage on left right. But he is having trouble surviving in these fights. What else? Nah, I don't think that's
It's all more survivability.
Yeah, they're stunned.
Hey, we'll get there, I believe.
Okay. This is the point. Can Lycan and the rest of Fnatic do anything about the second Roche? If they take a good fight here, I can see them having a chance. But if not, Lycan's going to be even more irrelevant. What's more than irrelevant?
I don't have the vocabulary for that, but it sounds bad. That's for sure. It's bad.
That would be him after this if he loses this Roche. And it looks like they aren't even going to contest it. Oh, poor boy. Gonna have to go for BKB, but he's just gonna get a kill. He can run at support stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw that in the last time too. He's able to take down the Ancient Apparition with the Necro books. I mean, it's not definitely what you want out of your position 1, but I guess it's sort of much more QO that's the position 1 at this point. And if he does manage to, you know, rack up a little bit of intel and then start dropping sanities, it could be good stuff for BKB.
It's still extremely hard versus the BKBs, though. That's the thing. They don't have a good way to stop them from popping the BKBs. And even so, they would have Snowball. Like, let's say you get a Hex or something, or you get like a sweet Earth Spirit stun. Like, there still is the potential for like Blink Tusk, you stun into them, and then what? Like that's I think one of the biggest problems about Fnatic's lineup. You don't care if they actually 5-man snowball into your team. Their team fight is just so tremendously weak. Normally, if you 5-man snowball into your team, you're deathly afraid. You're going to like an Earthshaker, like a Chronosphere, here like a Sven stun into a Sven cleave. Like, there's so many things that you're actually scared of for company. Whereas for LGD, you can just run at them, and they're running at them.
Yeah, that was very close right there. Clutch 4-staff. I wasn't sure if that was from QO or who, but they kept Ajit alive as the shards would have blocked him off.
But now you're gonna have to worry about your T3. There is one lone creep. Can they keep that creep alive?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they're actually gonna make this play with this one creep though.
I mean, they have Chronos here. There'll be another wave in a second as well. Looks like it is still enough to break the backdoor protection and jump forward. QO's there, but they actually ended up catching the Sven as well. It might not end up mattering because there just isn't enough damage on the rest of Fnatic. They take down too quickly. No buyback for QO. And even though Ajit is running at the poor little Yao Ancient Apparition, it does not matter. These barracks are starting to soon be under siege. The silence, the magnetized DJ doing his darndest, but it's not going to be enough. A triple kill for Maybe. He buys back DJ, but this is going to be the first tier 3 tower, first lane of racks, and the jump forward, taking down Ohio. Not quite. He's able to back out before they're able to deal the killing blow, but it's going to be barracks.
Yep. So a lot of people ask, like, why don't you first pick Lycan in every single game, or why is Lycan not like a top carry pick right now? This is part of the reason why. Sometimes you're just going to be in inherently bad matchups, not only in the lane, but in the mid game when you're trying to right-click people, and you are just going to be left useless. Because like the problem with this game is like you can't just AFK farm the jungle and then get big. Like Sven with even net worth will destroy you, so you need like 30%, 40% more net worth on him, and you would need to be able to take down all the towers and also fight a lot before he gets his BKB. However, they lost bottom lane pretty hard, I would say, with Ohio dying a few times and the other 2 lanes on LGD getting by with a lot of farm. And when that happens, you just aren't able to snowball off the T1s. The third T1, we joked about it on the T1 top. That T1 is down, but that was 23 minutes into the game. That's your third T1 tower. And how are you going to limit these guys' farm? How are you going to prevent Sven from getting BKB if you can't even take the T1s down?
No, definitely. And it's showing those big problems. And, well, they can maybe find Maybe. He is in a little bit of trouble, but all of those Arcane Orb blasts are not going to be enough. And now DJ's gone. 60 seconds. Ohio also under fire, in trouble. Ame wasn't quite able to run down QO, but they might be able to now as he's starting to drop. Ame jumps forward. The right clicks are there, and GG's called before he even falls. Fnatic, they weren't quite able to finish that one out. Great play by LGD, though. Really impressive.
I would say their draft was slightly more flexible, I would say, in that they could sit back and farm a lot of stacks, but they also had really strong team fight. Whereas Fnatic was more one-dimensional, and it just didn't pay off. You need to have a team that just makes very few mistakes in their, like, this sort of laning. You need to be able to, okay, have like an okay laning phase, boom, TP in with Nature's Prophet, and then sweep in, take a tower, and then Wisp will get 6, and then you could just repeat the same thing with Wisp relocates. And then after that, you control their jungle. But their game plan wasn't very sound because things started falling apart from the lane phase. Lycan got destroyed, Ohio died a few times, and QO was the only one who got any semblance of farm. But he wasn't really able to carry the game.
All right, well, game number 1 in the books. We're going to be back in just a little bit with game number 2. We'll see if LGD can continue this little streak that they've been building up, or if it's going to be Fnatic that can run it back, pull one away for themselves. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll be back in a few.